Hi, I'm Sharon. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where we're working together through the ABRSM Theory Grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets which you can download in US letter or A4, and they accompany each step of this series to help you. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam, and also how to make the best use of your time come exam day when you're actually working through your exam paper. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it's all there. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. Please do share out the videos. And now we're going to continue with the Grade 5 2018 Practice Paper B. We're going to look at question 2 now. So if you turn with me to page 11, we'll make a start here. And so it's good if you've had a go of this on your own. First of all, it's always better to learn by your mistakes. It doesn't matter if you've gone wrong. You can just rub it out and have another go. Now you need to be quite conversant with your key signatures for your major and minor keys here. And so it's helpful to have your circle of fifths to hand to save you keep on scratching your brain to bring this to your memory every time. If you're not sure how to work out this circle of fifths, if you look in the links in the cards and in the description, you'll see the links to my video tutorial explaining all about this circle of fifths. It's well worth sorting that out. It saves you loads of time in the long run. And it's also helpful to have a quick sketch of a piano keyboard so you can visualise the intervals and the increments as you move the semitones around. So it doesn't have to be a work of art, but a quick sketch of a piano keyboard, even if you don't play piano, is a good visual aid. So let's crack on then. So we're going to describe fully these melodic intervals. Melodic intervals because they come one after each other as if they're in a melody, unlike harmonic intervals that come one on top of each other like a harmony. And regardless of what order the intervals come in, you always count from the bottom up, and this bottom note was always going to be thought of as your tonic, regardless of the key signature. The key signature is just then applied as if it was an accidental, but the lowest note is always going to be your tonic. So here the first job is to just get the number of interval. So 1, 2, 3, 4, counting the lowest as 1, so that's a fourth of some sort. And F to B flat is a perfect fourth, nothing has changed, it's just a perfect fourth. We've not augmented or diminished it at all. Because in F major, B flat is part of the major and the minor key signature, and fourths, fifths and octaves are always perfect. There's no major or minor scenario there. So let's look at this one. The next one, we're exceeding an octave, and I always find it helpful to jump up the octave and then count the interval and explain it as a compound interval. You can just count the steps, but then that means you've got to relearn which are fourths, which are perfect interval like fourths, fifths and octave to now the new extended number. So I prefer to just jump the octave and then I still know which are my perfect intervals. So I'm going to jump up to an A flat there. So we've got a 1, 2, 3 fourth of some sort. We've got a compound fourth. Now then A to D is perfect, and then because that lower note has been flattened, we've made the interval bigger, we've extended from perfect to augmented. So that's a compound augmented fourth. I should have started at the beginning there. Alternatively, you could call it an augmented 11th, but you'd have to remember that 11ths are also perfect, and then it's been augmented by a semitone. Okay, pressing on. So now we have a 1, 2, 3, a third of some sort. Now this is an F sharp. F sharp to A is a minor third. F sharp to A is a minor third. F to A is a major third. We've then reduced that up that interval has made it smaller by raising the lower note, so it's a minor third. And you can also, if you play piano or you can visualise the interval, that's your third of your minor arpeggio. That's another way just thinking about that. So there we go, minor third. Now then, we're still in this same chain of thought, but now we've got to create the melodic interval. So we're counting up, we're always counting higher, and it's after, so they've given us all the clues we need to make this melodic interval. So the first job is just to count the blobs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 takes us to the line here. Now here, this lower note is a B, and this note at the moment, because of your key signature, is actually a G sharp. And G sharp is part of the major scale pattern. That's already a major interval. Major means greater, minor means lesser, so there's nothing that needs changing. It's already done for us with the key signature. So now we need a fifth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So C to G, as it stands, C to G is a perfect fifth. And so to make it a diminished fifth, we've got to make the interval smaller, so we're going to have to just knock that back a semitone by adding a flat sign. So there we go. There's our diminished fifth. So now let's press on to the next question. And again, this transposition question is all to do with intervals, just the same. And then we're going to have to adjust things by semitones according to the accidentals here. Now then, this is a piece of music for clarinet in A. So when it plays a note C, it sounds an A. So everything sounds a minor third lower. And so we've got to transpose this down a minor third as it would actually sound. Now then, we need to put in a new key signature, and then we need to adjust the accidentals. So we just start by thinking about what key we're in here. So let's say it's an F major. Of course it could be D minor, but the key signature and the accidentals will sort themselves out, so it's easier to think in the major. And then F major, so F down a minor third, so F down a minor third takes us to D. D to F sharp is major, D to F is minor, so we're actually going down to D major. So now we're going to be changing from a key signature of B flats to a key signature of F sharps and C sharps. So that's most of the hard thinking done. We've just now got to adjust up and down as these accidentals dictate. So the first thing I'm going to do is just get all the sort of nuts and bolts in place. Let's just map everything out. Now I know they give us 2 lines, but if you've got a really sharp pencil, you shouldn't need this second line. And I find it easy to just stay exactly aligned to theirs. I've got enough to be thinking about without worrying about getting lost where I am. So I'm going to keep everything exactly aligned to there so I can see exactly what I'm doing. If I start stretching over, I'm going to lose track of where I am. So that's why you need a sharp pencil. So we've got to come down a third now, a minor third. So we're counting down 3. The key signature's done the minor third job for us. So 1, 2, 3 takes us to a D. And actually that's really helpful because we've got a key note, the tonic F, and the key note, the tonic D. So that's a nice extra double check there by starting on the tonic. We've got a tonic arpeggio here. So now drop that down a third, and that takes us to A. And we've gone down 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's correct. Down a third. Down a third takes us to the D, and there's our nice tonic arpeggio to confirm that. Now then, we're going to come down a third from here from a D flat now to a B. Now let's just think about this. That's a D that's been flattened by a semitone, lowered by a semitone by adding the flat, I should say more clearly. So that now is a B natural, and to drop that by a semitone, that also becomes a B flat. Just when it becomes sharp, you need to be careful. So up a third, up a third. Now here, this is an F sharp at present, so an A natural lowered by a semitone becomes an A flat. However, an F sharp lowered by a semitone becomes an F natural. So it's not enough to just slap a flat in, we need to put a natural sign because we need to bear this key signature in mind. Now this one, we're up a third. This is a C that's been lowered by a flat. This is an A natural, so to lower that, we just add a flat. I'm going to put all the stems in afterwards. I've got enough to be thinking about without worrying about stems just at present. So down a step, down a third, that's a E that needs to be lowered by a semitone, so that becomes an E flat. Down another third. Now at the moment this is a C sharp, and so to lower this by a semitone it becomes a C natural, not a C flat, otherwise you will have lowered it twice. That's been lowered by a semitone. This has now been lowered by a semitone by cancelling out the sharp, as you can see. C sharp lowered by a semitone becomes C natural. And then down a third again. Let's see, where am I? I don't, no. That should be, I've gone wrong there. Oops a daisy. Let me count, that's down a fourth. So actually, that will be a B flat. I do apologise. That's a B flat. There we go. I've got that correct now. And now we go down a third to the G. Yeah, so that's a D that's been flat, and this is a B that's been flattened. Sorry, I didn't count my intervals carefully there. Apologies. So now we go up a step. Now we go up a third. Now we go up another third, and here this flat has been cancelled, so this flat is now going to be cancelled by a natural sign. And now we go up a 1, 2, 3, 4, so this comes down to an A. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, that's right. And then we're coming down 1, 2, 3 to the D, and let's just check, that's 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, yes, that's it. And so now we're coming down 1, 3, a fourth, 1, 3, 4 to the A, down a third, there's our tonic arpeggio, that's an F major arpeggio, this is a D major arpeggio, and then we jump an octave and a third, so that takes us to top F. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, yep, that's it. There we go. So we got there in the end. Once I learned to count between 3 and 4, we were okay there. Sorry about that. Okay, now then. So now we're going to put the stems in place. We've got a few decisions to make now, because these should be all beamed together. These are below the middle lines. These have the stems coming up. This one should come down, but it's outvoted. So this is going to have to just go upwards to accommodate the rest of the group. I think I'll use a ruler to stay nice and tidy. There we go. These can all come up. These are all above the middle line. And then this one is outvoted because these two must come down. That can go either way. So this one's outvoted, even though it should go up, stay in the group, it needs to come down. There we go. Same again here, this one's going to have to accommodate the rest of the group by coming down. Just a bit wonky there. Now then here, these all come up, so this one's going to be outvoted, so this one's going to have to join the rest of the group by coming up as a stem upwards. And then stem down here on its own. There we go. There we go. Got there eventually. So that's that completed. That's the end of that question. We'll look at the next question in the next video. I do hope this is helpful to you. I hope it's helping you with your studies. I hope that you're enjoying it. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. If you can give me a like, that would be really super. And please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. And please do share out the videos. Please also do visit sharonbale.com and make use of all of the resource and information that's available there to help you. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.